Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I decided to do something that I normally don't do here on my channel, which is something with a very dark and vampy, bold statement lip. And the reason why I chose to do something with a dark lip is because I have been obsessed with this lip product right here. It's by the brand ColourPop, and they've been getting a lot of buzz on YouTube and on Instagram, and there is a big reason for that. Their products are amazing quality and they're only $5 a piece. I have it swatched on the back of my hand right here. They're so pigmented, so creamy, so amazing. They don't feel drying on the lips, and they're just amazing. So I decided to do a makeup tutorial that's based around this lip color right here. So if you guys like this look, then please keep watching. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
So the first thing that I'm doing is starting off with a primer. I'm mixing two primers from Smashbox Cosmetics. I'm using one with a green tint to color correct any redness in my skin, and I'm just mixing it with the classic clear silicone based one just to create a nice smooth base and to fill in any giant pores that I may or may not have around my nose area. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm just going to be blending this out with a damp beauty blender. I really love this foundation because I have dry skin and it doesn't leave too much of a matte finish, but it's not super dewy either. It kind of gives you a nice natural finish, and it has great coverage without looking too heavy or cakey. It just makes your skin look amazing and like your skin's just perfect without even wearing any foundation. So next I'm going in with a corrective concealer. This one has a bit of an orange undertone to it, so it's going to help cancel out any blue or purple veins that creates that darkness underneath your under eye area. So I'm just going to be putting that in that area to cancel out that darkness, and then on top of that I'm going to use more of a yellow based concealer to kind of brighten the area after I've concealed the dark circles. To highlight, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20 Sand. I'm just putting this color underneath my eyes and up towards my temple. I'm putting it a little bit onto the center of my nose, my chin, and my forehead just to even out that highlight that I put underneath my eyes. The point of highlighting is to bring attention to areas of your face that you want to bring forward, and it's the opposite with contouring, where you want to put a shadow on any places that you want to hide. So because this look has such a bold lip, you want to make sure that your lips are primed and moisturized, and I'm just using this new Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. And then we're going to move on to brows. I use the Milani Brow Wax just to run over my brows to make sure that all the hairs are laying flat down, so it's easier for me to kind of find the shape and fill them in the way that I like without any fuss of any hairs just flying around and doing their own thing. So I am using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown, and I'm just going to be combing through them first with my spoolie, and then I'm going to just fill them in, creating whatever shape I feel like creating that day. If you guys want an updated brow routine video, then just let me know in the comments below and I will be happy to do that for you. It's just always really hard for me to film them because I look down at the mirror and then you can't really see what I'm doing. Anyways, I just run through them with a tinted brow gel afterwards to make sure that I fill in all the sparse areas that I may have missed. So next I'm using my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder to set my concealer, which I really should have done earlier, but we're just going to do it now because I forgot. But basically I'm just setting anywhere that I put my concealer so that it does not crease. It already started to crease a little bit on my eyelids. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just going to kind of blend that in again with my finger so that it doesn't, have that creasy look when I put my shadows on top. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with my Rimmel London Stay Matte Powder. I have dry skin, but I find that if I don't do this step, then whenever I put on any other powders on top of my foundation, it kind of goes on choppy. So this kind of ensures that all the shadows that I put on top of it are going to blend out a little bit more smoothly than if I skip this step. Moving on to blush, I'm just taking this shade here from my NARS Virtual Domination palette. I'm not the biggest fan of placing my blush straight on the apples of my cheeks, so I kind of take it a little bit further back, right above where I would put my contour, but right underneath where I would put my highlight, and I just kind of blend everything together, and I'm going to blend my bronzer in with that too in the next step. So for bronzer, I'm taking my favorite one. It's a MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Give Me Sun, and I'm just going to be taking this anywhere that the sun would naturally hit. So I'm taking it onto my forehead, onto my cheekbones, and just a little bit down the sides of my face and onto my neck. Think about it as making a little bit of a 3 shape onto your face. So I'm just bronzing up my skin to make my skin look a little bit more sun-kissed. Now to contour, to add a little bit more of the structure back into my cheeks, I'm going to be taking this one by Becca, and it just has a little bit more of a gray tone to it, which makes more of a realistic shadow than anything with a orange undertone. So now we're going to go ahead and start with our shadows. The first shadow that I'm taking is Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek. I'm just taking this on a big fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to be putting this all over my eyelid from my lash line up into my brow bone, just so that I have something in the background, so that when I put the darker shades on top of it, it blends out much smoother and more evenly. Next, I'm taking a black kohl liner. This one is by Stila Cosmetics. You can pick this up at Sephora, but basically what I'm doing with it is I'm lining my upper lash line, and then I'm going to be taking a pencil brush. The one that I'm using is from Makeup Geek, and I'm going to be smudging out that liner. I just want to create a little bit of a smoky look on my lash line so that it kind of peeks through when I put shadows on top and it looks nice and like smoky, duh. Next, I'm taking the color Charcoal from my Lorac 2 palette, and I'm going to be taking this color on top of where I put that liner, and I'm kind of smudging it upward right until like right underneath my crease area. I just want to create a little bit of darkness in the background because I am going to be deepening up the outer V, but I do want there to be some sort of gradient effect. So that is going to be peeking out through the background of the shadows that I put on top of it as well. To blend that all out and kind of add a transition shade in the background, I'm going to be using the shade Light Brown, and I'm just using this on a Sigma E25 brush, and I'm putting it into my crease. So I'm just putting this down as a transition shade, and I'm blending everything together very seamlessly and nicely. So this step is kind of pointless, but I'm obsessed with this color, so I'm just going to put it in this eye look. The color that I'm using is Nectar, and I'm just going to be putting this throughout my crease from outer corner to inner corner and kind of blending it through to put in the background as well. I just love this shadow, and it always just like has the most beautiful effect in the background of every eye look, so I just had to include it. But next I'm taking this shimmery shade called Rose, and I'm just placing it from my inner corner on my lid up until about halfway on my lid, and I'm kind of going to be blending it into the outer V. I'm going to be fading it in, you know, making a gradient. So I'm just placing this down, and then I'm going to be taking a darker shade and placing it on top. The shade that I am going to be taking is the color Plum, and I'm taking it on a Makeup Geek crease brush. I believe that's the name of this brush, and I'm literally just putting this in the outer V of my eye, and I just want to deepen up that area. So I'm just placing the color in right there, and then I'm going to blend it in to my crease, and I'm going to be blending it into that rose color that I also just put onto my lid. Next, to deepen up that outer V even more, I'm going to be taking the color Charcoal and placing it right on top of where I put the color Plum, and then I'm going to be blending that out as well with my blending brush. Next, I'm just going to do a little bit of work on the lower lash line. I'm taking both colors. I'm taking Charcoal and the color Plum, and I'm just going to be placing them down on the lower lash line and then blending it out. Once you're done with that, it's time for some mascara and some false lashes. The lashes that I'm using today are the Red Cherry number 43 lashes, and the mascara is the Benefit They're Real mascara. And once you're done popping those on, it is time for the best part, the lips. So we're going to be going in with our ColourPop Lippie Stick in the color Wicked. So once you guys are done with the lips, then you are done with this look. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.